Hey yo, what's up, my beloved champions fam? It's the bad guy WWE champion Zeke 4-0 back with a brand new video, and we are here today to take care of some challenge tours. We got a brand new limited time tour, the Cashin a Heatwave LT, up and available during this Flash Feud weekend, and we're gonna go ahead and handle business. We got the Money in the Bank PLE getting ready to go live very soon by the time that you're seeing this video, and we are just going to go and knock out normal, hard, and hell mode all in one fall swoop. With these challenge tours, it's always one match per difficulty level, and of course the difficulty is going to spike. Now look, I'm normally doing the best I can to be a perfectionist when I'm doing these tours, but I also like having a little bit of reality in these videos as well. What I mean is this: if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. If I don't have the contest superstar to help me get the bonus rewards, I'm at peace. But at the end of the day, I finish what I start, and quite frankly, we're not going to be leaving empty-handed. So even if we're not able to pick up the bonus rewards, we're going to still clear out these tours. So let's go ahead and get started. So we got the normal mode. We're going up against the Bloodline Modern Era Trickster Solo Sikoa. Now, I was going to utilize my boy Randy, or should I say Randall Keith Orton, RKO, the Apex Predator Modern Era Striker for this. However, sadly, even with the moment included, due to the difficulty of this and where he is leveled, he would not be able to clear this out, because any Randy Orton or any Cody Rhodes is required to get the additional Modern Era Acrobat Sami Zayn the Champ shards. But Randy just couldn't cut it, even with the moment included, which boosted his gem damage by 100%, his move damage by 100%, and increasing his multiply gems by 4. So with the setup that I had, he would have been dropping gems that would have been multiply gems with a strength of 9, and it still wasn't enough to get the job done. I don't have a strap for him either, but I was like, you know what, I'm looking at the layout of this, it is what it is, little trial and error. And then I was like, you know what? It's cool. We're gonna go ahead and rock and do this one way or the other. So we're gonna knock this one out with something simple, because even though I got Cody Rhodes, the American Dream is alive and well. I was able to pull him in my part 2 pulls of the 6-star Spangled Loot, and I was able to get him off that banner at 6-star silver. But right now, with resources, I wouldn't have everything I need to get him fully equipped and locked and loaded to take care of this challenge. So we're going to hold off and keep him at bay. But we do know we will work him up, and I do love Cody Rhodes' work, so he will be going up to 6-star gold in the future. Because looking at my other strikers right now, there really isn't anybody else that comes to mind. And when you pull somebody like Cody at 6-star silver, you're literally a hop, skip, jump away from taking him there. All I got to do is just be patient, get my resources up, re-up again, and then later down the road, he can make it to the promised land of golds. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and get this 400k points, and we're going to utilize someone that honestly is growing on me and is definitely going to be a future 6-star gold project, especially after getting his gear for free thanks to the good old people over at Scopely and WWE Champions. Judgment Day Finn Balor, Modern Era Showboat Chaotic. And the moveset is going to stay true, because thanks to this gear, we can run him without an MP trainer. And even if that were the case, we're going to just make it a lot easier for ourselves. It's simple and easy. This is the build. The Pele kick, first and foremost, we're going to force the opponent to skip a turn. Buys us time, right? Then we're also going to have the Dragon Sleeper Elbow Drop, allowing us to choose a 5x1 area to make into Snowfall gems. Those snowfall gems are going to turn into countdown gems that will deal damage and make gems into purple gems. And then we have the double foot stomp, making the 5 snowball, the snowfall, not snowball. I could use one with this humidity and this heat index outside here, but it's going to make 5 snowfall gems into blue gems. So it's easy. You force the skip turn. You lay down your snowfall gems. Your snowfall gems convert into blue gems. If you don't break the board and it's friendly to you, you can do a connect 3 or a 3 match, and then it's going to activate, and then you just flood the board with purple. You flood the board with purple. You made the 5 match with the blue, so then you're getting your skip turn back, and you just constantly recycle. And so this is all about purple gem damage. We got Gunther. We got the tech modern era Gunther. Purple moves start with purple MP, so there is some MP right there. And then we have purple gems doing 30% more damage. We have zombie Drew McIntyre as well as heroic Rey Mysterio. Both of them are doing purple gem damage, 12k apiece. And finally, we got Rock and Roman. The purple gems do 30% more damage. And of course, the additional caveat that is not needed here of generating more purple gems. So we are golden, we are good right here, and that is fine. And quite frankly, it's going to be a cakewalk as long as he doesn't dodge the move. We're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and knock him out. Now, I just want to talk to y'all real quick. We got a lot of cool things going on, and something came to mind the other day when I was doing a video. When I was doing my pulls, the six star Spangled Banner loot pulls, when I was doing those pulls and hoping for Carmelo Hayes or Roxanne Perez, I came to the realization, and I had to go through my roster. You know what's very interesting about the NXT characters that they've released as of late, or ever since they were introduced into the game? The NXT characters from back in the day, if I recall correctly, they were the introduction of dual trainer and coaching abilities, because you had the option where you could pick one for free. You could pick either Aleister Black NXT, Velveteen Dream, or Ricochet. You could pick either of them. So you had the option of getting Trickster, Velveteen Dream, Striker, Aleister Black, or Showboat Ricochet. And then whoever you chose, you went through the MLC and you got the currency so you could unlock the others and get them on your squad later on. And they also did it really cool too, because what they did that made it really unique to me was that it all happened when they did, I believe, they did the Super Bowl halftime show. They had a Super Bowl halftime show, and it was 2 different teams. You had the team, I believe, of Dream, Black, and Ricochet. And then they went up against Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. And the sad part is, I'm drawing a blank on who the third one was, who the third person was on their squad. But they put on a phenomenal showing, and then we got them in the game. And I look back and I realize, like, wow, they've literally, when it comes to it's no changing it up. But when it came to dual trainer and coaching abilities, we were able to get that with the NXT characters being launched and being released into the game. And so I look at that concept, and then I realize, well, you know, Roxanne, Carmelo, and Braun Breaker, they all utilize dual MPs for +4. And then I look back I went through my roster and looked at Aleister, and I looked at Velveteen, and I looked at Ricochet, and I'm like, wow, they did introduce that, so I like that tradition. But it's also a thing of looking at all the new people that are in NXT now. Another NXT MLC seems to be on a lot of people's minds, and no lie, it would be a good look for a lot of people, because it's a great way to add new people into the game. It's a great way to expand on entourage abilities. I mean, you got Sean Spears now here. You have Ty Dillinger, Perfect 10. he's back, and now he's Sean Spears coming from AEW. You got Ethan Ego Page there. You got Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick easily would be a great chase character in this situation. I mean, you got a lot of good people down there. The work that Roxanne's doing, you got, I believe her name is Lola Vice. You got Lola Vice down there. You got Jada Parker. You got Kalani. Soul. I think it's Soul Ruka or Raka. There's a lot of good people down there. Tony D'Angelo. There's just so many young people. Oba Femi. Well, another Wes Lee would be a good look. There's so many ways and routes that you could go with NXT. Another NXT MLC is necessary. And I would love to see what they do. I would be hyped. I would be very intrigued to see how it plays out, how they would go about releasing new characters, and what the abilities would be. Because we're already seeing trainers, and they went as far as taking it back with a guy like Razor, the original Razor, Tech Razor before Final Testament, giving him a rework where he's got 3 abilities on his. We've gotten familiar with the doubles, and now I'm sitting back and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yo, what if we start getting more 3-way trainers and coaches? What if we get to a point where it's 4 abilities? Even 5. There's a lot of different things depending on percentiles, because you can literally do like a 4-way champion who's doing flat rate gem damage, flat rate move damage. Then they could be doing plus MP. They could be doing reduction of damage received from certain gems. I can honestly see with how they've done things with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's a guy that they're doing things with. Even Roman Reigns. I could see them literally taking Roman Reigns, right, and giving him making a god tier version of him, right? And this dude is just like greatness on a different level, Roman, where you have to put in a lot of work to get him, right? And he do something super cracked where gem damage, all color gems deal 100% more damage. Or it could be all color gems do 100k damage. All moves do 100% more damage, or all moves do an additional 1 million damage, right? And then you can even have it say moves start off with plus 10 MP. Opponents' moves are reduced by minus 10 MP. There's a lot of wiggle room, especially if 7 stars are really going to be a thing. There's a lot of wiggle room to do a lot of crazy shenanigans with some characters. But I do feel, and I do know, you would have to put it on characters that would make sense. You'd have to put it on somebody where when the person looks at it, it's like, I can see why you made this character this OP with their abilities, let alone their gameplay. I can see why you opted to put that on them. That's the best way that I could put it, in my opinion. Is like, you have to get to that point where you are fair and reasonable. Like, you make it balanced. But like I said, you can have those situations where we get to that point where somebody is saying like, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run 4 abilities now, and these are the abilities. There's a lot. You can literally, that would be like some top tier, god tier pulls right there. And it doesn't have, it could be a super rare character. Or you can even do something that's like a baby version of it, like another Santa Hogan, but more appropriate and applicable to the 7-star meta if that becomes a thing. Because you're just going to have to figure out ways to keep people in the game, keep people entertained, and then everyone can still win. No one's feeling like they're being left behind. It's like, I might not have pulled them. I have the option to pull them on the loot. But guess what? Even if I don't, I was given the opportunity to pick up this character absolutely free. And now I can work on them all the time until I'm actually able to get them. So that's something that I look at too. That is something that is a possibility. We've gone from singular trainer and coaching abilities to dual to 3 now. We're seeing three abilities more frequent now. A lot of people are on the best ever will be Brett because it's just such a busted ability that he can use, and that can be used on many people. But I recall Razor having that ability, having 3 abilities when he got reworked. So that's how I'm looking at it too. Like, you can have 4, 5 of trainer coaching abilities, and then just imagine when you have like that Triforce, that big 3 of abilities. What if you got somebody who's offensively based with the abilities? Like I mentioned, you have someone that can, start you off with plus 12 MP. Your multiplied gem strength is times 24. Your multiplied gem damage is 150% more gem damage. You can, and on top of that, you reduce your opponent's MP by 5 or 10, depending on where they're maxed out level wise, right? And then you have someone that's on the defensive side, like, hey, all opponent submissions are reduced by 12 turns. There's no way. You're bypassing the escape artist. You're literally, as soon as they hop in, they're basically getting back out, and you don't lose no MP. Or gem damage received by opponent is now reduced by 100%. Move damage received by opponent is reduced by 100%. There's so many things that you can work into that, let alone if they come up with new concoctions when it comes to combo moves, hardcore moves, reversal moves. We're still on the first match, but I like thinking about these type of things because it will benefit us in the future. We can only win. We can only benefit and capitalize from these type of crazy ideas that come out by the grace of God and the people, the men and women of Scopely coming up with it. So I'm literally thinking about a new NXT MLC would be interesting. Who they could draw from that and bring into there. That would be a pull because there's so many great people that you can pull from. They got such a giant talent pool. I really wish that Dijak could have been made it into the game. I mean, you got Pete Dunne back. You got Tyler Bates now. Ilya Dragunov would be great. That would be a good look. Now, a character that I would really like to see come into the game because the representation is there, but it's not. I would love to see I know that we were doing the votes on the portal, but a guy that I would love to see come into the game appropriately, who I would love to see come into this game and do what he do. I would love to see one of the names in there done right. I would love to see Batista back in the game, but I would want to see an appropriate S+ tier, the Animal Batista. The Batista who gave the thumbs down to Triple H. The Batista who went to war against The Undertaker. That Batista. That's the Batista that we need. The one that wasn't afraid of the dead man at WrestleMania. That Batista needs to be in the game. Not an icon of WrestleMania. Not the powerhouse that we got, although he's a great trainer. We need that cracked version of Batista in here. The one that was on the cover of SmackDown versus Raw alongside John Cena when he was on SmackDown and John Cena was on Raw. That is the Batista that we need in the game. And even give him the gear. Give him the gear with the shirt off and everything when he Batista bombs Triple H through the table. That is the Batista we need. And the guy, another person we need in this game, we need this guy right here. Another CM Punk. But not any old CM Punk. We need the S+ tier CM Punk. We need, Pepsi Phil in the game. Long hair, don't care. Cashing in on Jeff Hardy's CM Punk. ECW champion CM Punk. That's the one we need. We need a version of him there. And then we need a bald-headed, Paul Heyman guy CM Punk. Or you know what? I'm gonna jump the barricade and blow you a kiss and leave out and disappear like a thief in the middle of the night. Money in the Bank champion CM Punk. Those are people that I'm looking forward to because they will draw money and they would be exciting to see. So we're going to check out. You already know what we're going to do here. We're running the triple greens. We're going to choose a 4x1 area to make into snowfall gems. Those snowfall gems will turn into multiply gems. Then we're going to we're going to go ahead and we're going to make those snowfall gems into green gems, cycling, allowing us to get closer to the GTS where everyone goes night-night, because we're going to increase the strength of our multiply gems by 4 and dealing damage, then also destroying multiply gems. I like this because, again, like I just mentioned about my whole tangent, here are the abilities that we're running. We're focusing in on green moves, starting off with green MP. Green moves are going to deal 35% more damage. It could be higher if I worked on my Bailey. I pulled that 6-star Fusiver. I'll wait for a talent up, and he'll be hitting a lot harder. I got Hall of Fame DDP on there. Green gems are going to do 30% more damage, but green moves are also dealing 30% more damage, similar to what the champ Sami Zayn does for blue. And then, of course, we have our guy Lex Luger, Wolfpack, 12k gem damage for greens. So we're running this, and on top of that, we got blessed with a few domination pack pull, a few chest pull. We got 40% gem damage, but we also got this on the Sheik plate, getting cheeky, baby. Shout out to Iron Sheik, another great and incredible Champions content creator. Whenever you activate a green move, increase your green move damage by 100% for a total of 2 turns. So if everything goes right, we can stack this, and we'll just keep on dwindling down Sammy. So we're going to go ahead and run that. But there's multiple versions of CM Punk, because you could do the one, like I said, where he was going against Jeff Hardy. You could do the Straight Edge Society CM Punk, especially with Gallows still in the game. You also have the Voice of the Voiceless, the Pipe Bomb CM Punk, the Summer Punk. You could make those versions of CM Punk, and they would bring in money. And quite frankly, there's so many different alternatives that you could do, because he's paid homage to so many great different wrestlers. With the Macho Man gear that he had, with the colors for that, the same when it goes for Bret Hart's colors. He's done a lot of cool tight alternatives to what he usually wore, and I just know that CM Punk would sell, because a lot of people went ham when he showed up into the game, just as much as so many people went ham when Cody Rhodes debuted in the game. And I know for sure when Jacob Fatu comes into this game, people are going nuts. Again, it's been the longest time since I've seen a pop like the one that Jacob got when he debuted. People knew who he was. People were excited to see what he did. He destroyed Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and WWE Champion Cody Rhodes on his debut. I haven't seen a more memorable debut like that since The Fiend, Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. These guys showed up and just destroyed. And even on another scale, like guys like The Rock and even Undertaker. Like Undertaker, when he showed up, everybody was scared. You had grown men looking like, yo, what are we supposed to do with this? You know what I mean? What are we supposed to do with that? And that's good storytelling. Debuts like that are incredible. But I know that there's a lot of other great characters. I would love to see Bull Nakano. I would love to see her in this game. Tenfold. She was a great champion for what she did and what she was able to do in the New Gen era. The matches she put on against Alundra Blaze. So what she represents to the culture, and what she did for Oriental foreign wrestlers, male and female. She was good for business. So Bull Nakano would be great. A Hall of Fame version as well. So a New Gen version and a Hall of Fame version. Those would make sense. To me, they would make sense. You could easily do Medusa, another Alundra Blaze. Speaking of her, you can bring in, since we got the Anoa'i family, you can bring in the Tonga Kid. I know it's muddy waters It is. So we probably will not get a Jimmy Superfly Snuka, but you can bring in his daughter. You know, you could bring her in, and there's just so much that's on here. Like I would love, I would love to see Owen Hart come into this game. Things seem to be on a good accord, thanks to the one and only Triple H doing things, Papa H. So having Owen Hart in the game would be apex. That would be apex. A new version of Bray Wyatt, the one that we got, that's just dangerous, man. That was just deadly. Just deadly. Good God. CM Punk, man. Pepsi Phil keeping it real. But one thing that always threw me off, I would love to see the last variant of Bray Wyatt. And out of respect for him, we did technically get the Muscle Man Bray Wyatt legend because he is a legend in his own right. But I would love for them to bring in a new Bray Wyatt and just pay homage to him. Give him the gear from that Pitch Black Mountain Dew match against LA Knight, since that was his last match. Bring in, you could easily do a skill plate because of the whole thing. Like, you could do 2 skill plates. You could do a skill plate for the Wyatt 6. You could do a skill plate for Uncle Howdy. You can do a MLC based on the Wyatt 6. You can easily do one and make it where the concept is the same. Like how every single MLC, you have your blitzes, you have your showdowns, you have your tours, you have your blitzes, your tours, your showdowns, your feuds, your faction bosses. There's literally so much content in this game that you could literally have a Wyatt 6 member for representative for each one of them. And the chase, the S plus tier, if he's not going to be on a banner, you can make it Bray Wyatt. You can be the last version of Bray Wyatt and make him like a legend edition where he has the Wyatt family link. He has the link with the the leader of worlds with Matt Hardy if you got him. He has a Rotunda link with his father IRS, and if there's ever a NXT Bo Dallas, that could be a thing. He could have a Wyatt 6 link with Uncle Howdy and Bray. There's so many different ways that you could go with that, because when they made the rework, there were certain reworks that made sense because I understood why they did it, but it also bothered me why the way that they went about it. And what I'm saying is, I was very upset when they replaced Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt as the Black MP trainer. They replaced him with Striker Woods. That bothered me. That bothered me a lot because you already got enough New Day representation, and Bray had been that trainer for so long. He should have stayed that way, especially knowing how things went now. Now there are others where it was different. When they replaced Alberto Del Rio and find out what was going on between him and Paige, I get that. When Enzo Amore had his thing, even if he got found innocent, they were in a catch-22 situation. I can understand that one. And then obviously doing the reskins of certain wrestlers to make them viable, I understand that too, because that's how we got AOP. That's how we got the Authors of Pain, the original version. They reskinned Enzo and made him into somebody different. They made him into that Akam, I believe. And then they reskinned Alberto Del Rio and made him into Razor. And now, if I recall correctly, like, I don't know how it went now. I think if I am correct, I think the Showboat Akam's gone, and now he got replaced. Ultimately, what I'm saying is certain people got replaced because things happen outside of in the real world. But one of the ones that bothered me the most as we close this out, the one that bothered me the most was they didn't have to get rid of Bray. Because Bray was such a monster back during the 3-star gold meta. Like if you had Striker Bray, if you had Trickster Seth, if you had Acrobat AJ Styles back during those times, no one was beating you. That's how old school it was in 3-star gold. If you had Trickster Bray, no, if you had Striker Bray and you had Titus O'Neil on him, it was done. It was over. That's just how it was. AJ Styles gets his color turns down, and then he hits you with the Styles Clash. Game over. Seth Rollins gets those moves off with the purples, the random, and connecting them and making a giant wild card. You're not winning. So he was like, that was a stamp. That was a stamp in time of WWE champions. And I understand that Bray went away for a little bit, so they figured, hey, let's go ahead and change him over. But even then, because he left on good terms with the WWE, we still got Big Cass in this thing, you know? I feel that they should have left Bray as is, especially with how valuable he was as a unit, as well as a trainer and a coach. Now, forgive me, it's been years, so if I got some of those trainer abilities confused before coaching abilities were even a thing, I do apologize. It's been a year since I covered those characters, right? But at the end of the day, they all had a role. They all played something in Champions, and it meant a lot to certain people when you pulled certain people back then, especially knowing it was limited. I remember when I pulled Alberto Del Rio, and I didn't realize how important he was going to be to the game with those matching those moves. I was working on everybody else except for the character right there that was a top tier, god tier back in the day. So it's like the memories, the nostalgia, and knowing how much of a role these characters were in their part in time. I really feel that Bray should come back. You now got King Woods out. You still have Trickster Woods. There's nothing that changes you just putting Striker Bray back into the game. That's just me personally. If you were able to keep Trickster Bray, there was no reason to do away with Striker Bray. That's just me. That's just me. But a new Bray Wyatt would be a cool character to also see in the game. The Wyatt 6 could easily be an MLC theme, especially when you think about blitzes, showdowns, faction feuds, faction boss. Literally, there's so many staples in the game now. You can have a superstar from each member of the Wyatt 6 be a thing. You can also introduce a ton of different skill plates. They could even come up with a cracked skill plate that shows all the puppets from Bray's Firefly Funhouse. They could easily do a Firefly Funhouse skill plate, that one of the silver ones, or even introduce a gold skill plate. That would sell. That would push the narrative. A lot of people would enjoy that tenfold. So there's a lot of different directions that they could go when it comes to characters. I would love to see Right to Censor in the game. I would love to see Too Cool in the game. You already got Rikishi. Bring Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty 2 Hotty in here. You know, there's certain characters I get why you can't do it. Then there's other characters where, as much as I would love, because of how incredible of a wrestler he was and his intensity, I know there's never going to be a Chris Benoit in this game. Point blank. I know there won't be. But that doesn't stop us from getting a new Eddie Guerrero. You know, that doesn't stop us from getting possibly a Dean Malenko or a Steve Blackman. You know, someone like Viscera, the world's biggest love machine, or Viscera, Ministry of Darkness, or Big Daddy V. There's nothing stopping those from happening. Those are possibilities. But when you look at wrestlers, there's so much going on, and there's so many characters that you can only have so many people in this game, and especially with how they release things. But that was an easy clap on this one. Thankfully for the Hell Mode Challenge, you're going up against the 6-star gold, but there's plenty of 6-star silvers that can beat it. If you're using props, it'll make things easier. It is manageable. It is highly doable. And as you saw, I do have 15% or probably less now on my phone, but we got through it. And we talked about some cool things. We chopped it up. I always enjoy these videos where I can just relax and talk to all of you. And I'm going to go here just real quick just to see even if he is in here. Yup. See, he's gone. He's not there. So, to know that when I look at my Striker Woods and to know that that was Bray Wyatt, one of my favorite wrestlers, one of my favorite characters, character works in the game, and to know that he's not there, he got replaced, it was like, it hurt. But I do strongly feel they can pay homage to him. They could easily make him a godly S+ tier character. Introduce the Wyatt 6. Skill plates and all. You can literally give him the full rollout, just like they did with the Rocky characters, the Ghostbuster characters. You can have everything unfold there. You can bring back the Bludgeon Brothers for one time only. You get a chance to collect Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Have all the Braun Strowmans available in the loot. That is how you do it. And especially with them saying that the final member of the Wyatt 6, because there's 5 right now, and they all represent it. From what I'm understanding, this is how it goes. You got Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. You have Nikki Cross as Abby the Witch. You have Eric Rowan as Ramblin' Rabbit. You have Joe Gacy from NXT as Huskus the Pig. You have Dexter Loomis as Mercy the Buzzard. And the final one is supposed to be a returning Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail. So that's the whole Wyatt, the whole Wyatt 6. You can easily get that lineup set up. You can easily have Sister Abigail as the S tier or an A tier. You can easily have Uncle Howdy as the S tier and Bray as the S+ tier. You can have the others come in as surprise characters. There's so many things that you can do with that one faction alone. The same thing can be done with Evolution. You can have a plate for Evolution. You can have a version of them. There could easily be an Evolution moment that makes all those characters top notch, the same way they did with Imperium and the Brawling Brutes. There are ways that they can make this game all the more exciting and all the more fun. But we just gotta wait and see. But we took care of those challenges. Best of luck to all y'all when it comes to the feud. By the time that you see this video, the feud will probably already been live for a little bit of time. But I'm glad we got to chop it up. Let's keep it going. There will be more LT tours, and you can best believe we will cover those hell modes and get through them by any means necessary. But that is the video, y'all. Thank y'all so much for your love and support. Thank you for sticking it out with me. It wasn't meant to be short, sweet, and brief, but I like talking and getting things out there so we can chop it up in the comments below. So with that being said, hey yo, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love to each and every single one of you, of my beloved Champions fam. Make sure to like the video, share the video, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you can check out all the content from yours truly, the bad guy of WWE Champions, Zeke 4-0, the most electrifying content creator in WWE Champions Entertainment. And with that being said, y'all, enjoy this Flash Feud weekend. Enjoy the Money in the Bank PLE. Enjoy the time. Cherish it. Because once this day passes, another Saturday or Sunday may come, but it won't be the same as the one that just passed. So mad love to all of y'all. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy life. Cherish the simple things. Don't make things complex. And be on the lookout for more content to come from your boy. But until then, y'all, stay tuned. Peace.